Hey everybody, this is GGB, and I hope you guys enjoyed last week's thing. Now, remember, I did not get to the needed amount of points last week, so if you have any idea for a dare, just put it in the comment section down below. The one that gets the most likes will be the one that I will do, and just the first one, I guess, that's posted, too. So you guys have an opportunity to get me to do almost anything. Obviously, I have some limits, but it's mostly anything. I failed last week, so just give me your best shot. So just put it in the comment section below. Just hit that like button if you want more content, and make sure to comment your idea for a dare, and like the dares that you think other people did put. So it would be a good dare for me. Anyways, let me go over the point system again. And for any of you who are new to College Basketball Upset of the Day, I'm glad you're joining us. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Here's how College Basketball Upset of the Day basically works. There's a top 25 game almost every day of the week. Now, if there isn't, I'll get into those rules later. But most of the time, there's a top 25 game every single day. Now, normally there's multiple. Like for today, there's 2 top 25 games. I pick one of them to be upset. Now, if there's no upsets in a day, that's fine. I get half a point for that. The goal is to get to 4 points. Now, if there is an upset, I get 1 point. If it's the biggest upset of the day. For instance, number 1 Gonzaga is playing BYU today. They're favored by 11.5 points. Now, if BYU used to pull off the upset and I pick that, I'd get 1.5 points because it'd be the biggest upset of the day. So, just, that's how the point system works, basically. I have to get to 4 points. Last week I didn't, which is why, if you just put a dare in the comment section below, guys, that's all you got to do. All you've got to do is do that, and you get me to do something crazy and insane, and who doesn't want to see this man doing something crazy and insane? But I hope you guys are excited to get into this new week of College Basketball Upset of the Day. Let's go over what happened yesterday real quick. Now, in the Big Ten, Iowa was able to upset Indiana, which was my pick for the upset of the week, but we'll go over why I didn't quite get the needed amount of points this week. But Indiana did upset Iowa, moved them to 5-6 record, but Iowa did fall behind Wisconsin and Purdue, so that's a thing to be sure. So the Hawkeyes are now in 6th place in the Big Ten. Indiana stays where they're at. And we'll go over the Big Ten a little bit more because there is a big Big Ten game today. In the Big East, we had Villanova play Georgetown. Again, as I said, nothing changed today because Georgetown lost, Villanova won. Nothing changed. Villanova is still the top team in the Big East, and Georgetown's still second to last. Now, let's go over to the MVC, which is really what screwed me over. Was Drake was ranked 25th in the country, favored by 13 points. And if Drake hadn't lost this game to Valparaiso, I would have actually hit the 4-point goal, and I wouldn't have had to do the dare. Remember, hit the dare. Just comment a dare down below. But this is the game that killed it for us. I hope you guys are all happy with Valparaiso, because I am not happy with Drake. Drake lost, and again, that pushed Loyola Chicago's thinking. Thank you, says Loyola Chicago, for this absolute opportunity given to them by Drake. Valparaiso, I believe, moved up 1 past Bradley. So, not anything huge happened in the MVC other than me really hurting myself, but just post a dare. Let's go over what can happen today. So, as many of you know, at 8 o'clock, number 7, Ohio State is traveling to Maryland. Ohio State's favored by 3.5 points in this game. It's on FS1. Now, Maryland did not look good against Penn State. Like, they could not hit a shot. Legitimately, they looked very bad. But they're a fringe team. There are some teams I explained as fringe teams. I believe the top about 8 of the Big Ten is locks, basically. From Michigan down to Rutgers are basically locks for me. I expect all of them to get in. There are some teams I believe that are on the bubble. Now, I believe, maybe down to 9, I believe Minnesota's going to get in. But Penn State, Maryland are teams that I think, one of them I think might make it. Penn State has an easier schedule to go throughout, but they're still under 500 right now. Maryland's barely over 500, but a win against Ohio State would be huge in here. Now, a win for a loss for Ohio State is going to do nothing. They are in 3rd place regardless, but a win would put them right behind Illinois. A loss would give Illinois a little bit of more breathing room, which is what you want if you're Illinois. Illinois, you're a Maryland fan tonight. Now, Maryland, on the other hand, I mean, Maryland, technically if they win, Maryland's going to move up 2 spots. They're going to move from now 11th into 9th place. But that's a little bit kind of, it's disillusionment, really, is what it is. You think that you're moving up 2 spots, but really, Minnesota's playing Nebraska today. Let's be honest, Minnesota's going to beat Nebraska. Penn State's playing Michigan State on Tuesday. I believe Penn State's going to beat Michigan State. So really, I don't believe Maryland's going to move really anywhere in the long run. But in the short term, they could move up 2 spots. So that's the thing is for Maryland. Although a win today would be huge in boosting their tournament resume. So that's what really the big thing for the Big Ten is. Now, at 10 o'clock, we have number 1 Gonzaga traveling to BYU. Now, Gonzaga's favored by 11.5 points in this game. It's on ESPN, by the way. So, Gonzaga, as you might know, is in first place. BYU's in second. So, these are the 2 best teams in the WCC. Now, Gonzaga's undefeated. We just lost our third. So, there were 3 undefeated teams heading into this weekend. We had Drake, we had Baylor, we had Gonzaga. Now, Baylor didn't play on Saturday or Sunday, but Drake played on Saturday and Sunday. Barely escaped against Valparaiso on Saturday, got caught on Sunday against Valparaiso, so that leaves 2. Let's see if we can narrow that number to 1 on Sunday. Now, Gonzaga, the Bulldogs, are a really good team this year. I do think that, but they let teams that are inferior, San Diego, Pacific, San Francisco, Pepperdine, they hang in these games for too long. BYU's not a team you can really let hang in there. You can't let them hang in there, because we all kind of knew that Pacific was going to blow. We all knew that Pepperdine was going to blow the lead, or Gonzaga was going to come back. I don't know if you can come back against BYU. I just don't know if you can. The Cougars they just seem like a different team. That's why it's going to be interesting. A win or a loss isn't going to move any team. If Gonzaga loses, that hurts them, and it's going to knock them out of the 1 spot. But they'd only have a 9-1 in conference record. With a loss, BYU falls to 6-3. Not going to be passed by Santa Clara at 3-2. So, again, not a huge. It's a huge deal ranking wise, but in the WCC, it's not a huge deal because neither team is going to pass. Although BYU would love to get a win and try and knock Gonzaga out of that top seed, but who does GGB think is going to pull off the upset of the day? And I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad to answer it for you. I think it's going to be Maryland. I think Maryland has the best shot at upsetting someone today. I understand Maryland looked horrible against Penn State, but they don't really play up to their competition. If you watch the game against Wisconsin, they beat Wisconsin. A lot of people forget about that. The Michigan game, we'll take that as an outlier. Their defense has been very good this year, which is going to be interesting. Ohio State is a team that kind of needs to score a good amount of points. So, regardless of what you say or not, I think Maryland can keep this a relatively close basketball game. I think Maryland's going to keep it close throughout. I just hope that they can pull it out in the end. Everybody, this is GGB saying adios amigos and go Terrapins.